We have nothing to say.
Hello, it's Sean and Patrick. We're back for the mini army show, and today it's a lovely day, so we're in the garden.
Yeah.
Okay, and today we're doing this. It's the Italeri Infantry, German Infantry, right?
If you're wondering what that singing voice is, it's anime.
And the weird thing about these figures, even though they're great, if you look at them, the detail is fantastic in them, right? You see a little grenade sticking out of his pocket?
Wait, what?
A little grenade sticking out of his not pocket, boot, right? But all the gear that they have on the figures is fantastic, and all the moulding is fantastic. But there's a weird thing about them is that on the box art, mostly the men that are in the pack aren't on the box art, and there's a few weird things about the poses on them. There's two guys manning the heavy machine gun there, yeah?
His gun is bent.
Yeah, they always get bent, don't they? But this guy here is there's two guys manning the heavy machine gun, but in the pack it's only got one guy handling it, and
maybe there's another guy to handle it.
No, there isn't. It doesn't have another guy. Yeah. So
maybe that's what this guy's for.
The box art. No, he's a radio guy. Why would you have a radio man?
Why do you have a radio man in that?
Well, these Italeri figures, they're brilliant, and they've got that. See that? Does it say?
Approved.
War games approved, right? So these are the 1/72 scale, and we use them for wargaming. But there is a few weird things about their poses. Number one, they're not the guys on the box. It's like they're from a different pack altogether. So one of the things that really annoyed me about these figures is nearly every other guy has a machine gun. And these are here's the thing, buddy, here's the thing to know, right? These guys are early war guys. You know how you can tell they're early wars? Because they've got their lovely tunics and their high boots and all that fancy gear. As the war went on, now there'd be packs of infantry guys that you can get from other, like Italeri and other manufacturers. But as the war went on, their uniforms changed. They started actually looking a bit more like the British uniforms, I think. And they started stopping having the big boots and the tunics and stuff like that, and they started looking a bit more ragtag and camouflage and stuff like this. But these guys are obviously early war guys. But the thing that's annoying about these, slightly annoying, right, is nearly every other guy has an MP40 machine gun, right, which only the sergeants and corporals would have them. So there's a machine gunner guy with them.
A machine pistol is not quite a machine gun.
And the guy throwing a grenade, he had the machine.
No, that's a shotgun.
No, it isn't. I actually cut the things off because every other guy has a MP40 machine gun. Like there's a guy with a mine, and he has an MP40 machine gun. Guy throwing a grenade, he has an MP. Like mostly in this era of the war, anyway, most guys would be issued with rifles. Yeah, exactly. The machine gunner guy is a bit weird because he's just handling like an MG42 or MG36. It'd be an MG36 because it's early war, right? Yeah. So they haven't updated it by then probably. He's got a barrel. He's got a what do you call it? A magazine-fed version of it, right? There's no one working with him, so that's a bit unrealistic because you'd always have two guys working the machine gun, or maybe even three guys, right? And it's got a guy on the ground shooting his one. He's got a magazine-fed one as well. It would have been nice to see a belt fed and a guy feeding the belt into it. Here's one thing that's really good is see the officer with the pistol. He's got his helmet on. A lot of the times you see in these kits they have guys and they have the peak hat. The peak hat would have been no good because it would have been a standout to snipers. Shoot him, he's the commander.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So these figures are really good. There's no there's great detail on them, and there's not much cleaning up or anything to do on them. and you get a good variety of poses. Just the only thing I'd have an issue with is too many MP40 machine guns, and weird poses, just a bit weird poses, and the poses aren't exactly like they are on the box. So
They don't have to be.
yeah, but some manufacturers make the guys on the box the guys that you get inside it. So it's the only way that you see who you're getting, because there's nowhere else on the box that shows the poses. Some of them have a big lineup of poses there, but these don't. I think the guys on the box actually have better poses.
Yeah.
Again, every second guy has an MP40 machine gun, which is kind of an officer thing, or not an officer, but higher rank than private. So I'd like more riflemen, because the war game we play is mostly based around riflemen. Right, so here you can see a selection of the guys standing there, they're the unpainted guys. And here they are with the painted versions of them as well. So you've got the radio guy, the guy with the MG42 on the ground with the drum magazine, with the rifleman on the ground, and MP40 machine gunner guy. There's an MG42, but on the model it's got a little gap there, but I've filled that in, and there he is, filled in and painted. There's the commander, and the great thing about this set is you get the mortar weapon, and you get the anti-tank Panzer Schreck. Here is a funny comparison over here. That's the flamethrower on a stand and painted, and beside him is the Airfix, the equivalent of a German Airfix flamethrower guy. You can see how tinchy he is compared to the Italeri one. The same thing again. Italeri. There's the Italeri rifleman. There's the painted version of it, and it's a really nice pose on the. That's the Airfix guy beside him. It's a really nice pose, but their scale is a bit off. They seem a lot tinchy compared to the Italeri one, and that's they're all in 1/72 scale. Their gear is brilliant. They have lots of detail on their gear. So yeah, it's a brilliant set. So from Sean and Patrick out in the garden, it's bye from us.
If you like it, tell a friend. If you don't like it, tell an enemy.
Bye.
Bye.
There you go. Oh, you clever baby. Only 6 months. You've been feeding yourself for about a month. You're so clever, aren't you? Yay! Good boy.